Okay. I'm not sure what's going on there, if it's running or not. I can't see it, and it could be out of juice. I thought I had plenty of space to go all day.
Little dot, little red dot.
Looks like it's going.
It's going.
All right. Well, let's go back to the board. What I wanted, friends, I wanted to set this up a little bit because what Bernadette's doing with local search is very interesting to me. You know, my background is in marketing, and my sister and I owned a national full-service marketing agency, and we had gone into listing services at one time. Now, a lot of people don't know what listing services mean, but basically, showing up in directories is a very important thing for your business to be able to do. That doesn't mean you're really going to see it everywhere. A lot of this, like you had said earlier, a lot of this looks like it's behind the scenes. But there are so many directories that contribute backlinks to your website that if you will have one properly set up, the SEO that does, because SEO is really just connecting the language of your website, your geolocation, the name of your company, to the terms that searchers are using. That's all it's doing. The more links that you have coming back to your website, the better. And Bernadette's found a way to add her technology to the technology we were using that really wasn't effective back then. But wait till you hear what she's doing now for you. Bernadette, please take it away.
Okay, so especially as we move into this mobile world, location is going to be very, very important.
Yes, ma'am.
There's so much data created every single day, and that data is pushed everywhere on the web. So it's very common for a business to have listings in many different directories with old phone numbers, old addresses if they've moved. They
And like you
merge
said earlier,
listings
too,
with yeah.
that what if you have a home business and then you
Yeah.
get an office? Right?
Yes, so that even happened to us. So we started our business out of our home, and this was years ago. But just the other day, when I ran one of our scans, I noticed that my home address popped up again as my listing location in one of the larger directories. And who knows where they pulled that data from?
Yeah.
So as mobile progresses and the Internet of Things gets more popular and we are more engaged at the point of sale, it's very important for a business to make sure that their data across the web is consistent. Otherwise, it's not trusted by the search engines, it's not trusted by the visitor, and you can be losing sales. And it's very common. So the foundation of good local search today, as we move into 2015 and beyond, is to make sure that your digital presence management is taken care of. And that's what we do, basically.
And it's very affordable.
Very affordable. There's a couple different offerings that we have in different packages. So depending on the size of your business, how many locations you have, how deep you want us to go into digital presence management, we have packages for as little as $84 a year, up to $800 a year if you want us to handle also your local search and content management and Facebook and Twitter. So there's quite a bit of offerings and choices that we have, but the most important thing is a business has to take the time to make sure that their foundation is complete and accurate. I don't care how great your website is, if it's mobile responsive or not, if your address is wrong and your phone number is wrong out there on the internet, you're just going to lose sales.
And you know what? It's not just American small business that deals with this. I mean, getting the information right from the online atmosphere to the storefront is a struggle for companies as large as Lowe's and Target and Leslie's Pool Supply.
Yeah.
I mean, you see this all the time.
Some of them which are our clients.
That's that's really nice that you can work with the larger companies as well.
So we work everywhere from, as a matter of fact, our first client was a dentist locally here in Dallas. And so we started off our business with a $750 website. And, we were Inc. 500 3 years in a row, so we're growing very quickly.
Kudos.
But you can be a small business yourself, and you can sign in and add your information, and we can take it from there. You can be a brand, that has many locations across the U.S., and we can handle that. Or, you can be an agency. We also work for other agencies.
So you are a very driven woman.
Yes.
You have things going on that you're mastering in a very short period of time, and that's really exciting to get to watch that and get to watch that growth from this area here in North Texas, where I get to see every once in a while. That's kind of cool. So what drives you? I noticed that you every time you are out there every time when you see you online, you are directly connected with Trimunity.
Yes,
Did you want to
I
talk
am.
about
Sure,
that?
I'd love to. So, as a matter of fact, Rocks Digital, all the profits from Rocks Digital does go to Trimunity. So, what Trimunity is, it's a community of people trying to overcome life's unexpected. And in 2011, on the 21st of May, just a few days from now, 4 years ago, my son was ejected from a car, and he was thrown and landed on his head, and he suffered a very severe traumatic brain injury. He was rushed to the hospital. Luckily, he was very close to a firehouse, and those angels came and scraped him off the road and took him to the hospital. And we were living in Dallas at the time. This happened in Florida, and it was a very dark time.
Yeah.
So, of course, we got there as soon as we could. The prognosis wasn't well. He was not expected to ever wake up. We were told he was going to be a vegetable for the rest of his life. And even around the third or fourth day, they pulled us aside and said, look, maybe you need to just consider letting him go. But we didn't.
Wow.
And one of the things that happened, and this is it's something that will affect me for the rest of my life, but one of the things that happened was because I was in the ICU with him, I couldn't let my family and friends call me because there's no phones allowed. So I created a Facebook page called the Beans Recovery Group. And my family and friends would be able to log on, and I posted on there every day, at the end of every day how he was doing. And what happened was eventually I started getting posts from people all over the world saying, my son had a brain injury and he's getting married next month. You stick with it, and we're praying for you. And my daughter's going back to school after her brain injury. And
Encouragement.
yes, these words of wisdom, they kind of said, well, hell, if they can do it, we can do it. So my husband and I just buckled up and said, we're in here for the long haul to see what happens. And over the first year, he woke back up. He had to learn to breathe again. He had to learn to eat again. He had to learn to walk again, everything. So during his recovery, we'd tell him how we would get these words of encouragement from other people. And one day he said to us, well, why don't we start a Facebook-like site for people with brain injury? So we did, and that's called Trimunity. And today we have 25,000 members on the site. It's free to join. But all you see, if you've been touched by traumatic brain injury, if you're a caregiver, if you're a resource, or if you're someone with a traumatic brain injury, you can get on the site and you'll see the people engage all day long. They share pictures of their accidents, their scars. They talk about what meds they're taking. They share ideas on how to overcome certain things.
Now, did you see how her face lights up when she talks about this?
So it's just
good.
something that's kind of near and dear to our hearts, and we feel that it's a way for our son to give back, and especially pay back all the amazing people that touched his life since his accident. And I will let you know that Mike now works with Advice. So though he's a little restricted on his mobile skills, his left side is tough for him to walk and use his left side, but he's been able to teach himself to type, so he does data entry, and he's on Trimunity every day, still engaging with everyone, and it's just become a great place to go for people whose world has shrunk down to just maybe their family.
Oh, friends, I couldn't agree more. And this is exactly the type of thing that's going on in American business today, because we are not operating in a vacuum. I often say, as business owners, we're taking care of our kids, we're taking care of our kids while we're taking care of our parents, and somehow trying to run a business. And we're doing that a lot of times. We're dealing with PTSD when our troops come back from overseas, and we're dealing with traumatic brain injury, and we're dealing with things that are impacting us every single day. We can't afford to not do business as smart as possible. We have to take advantage of these resources that really grow our business and grow our reach, especially if you've got something that you stand for. You will find that Bernadette sets a very good example here. All of her websites, everywhere you find Bernadette, her social footprint is connected to Trimunity. She's not messing around. And I hope, friends, that you take that moment and take that advice and apply it to yourself, because whether you want it to support Trimunity, which I hope that you do, I hope that you can connect. And once again, what's the specific way they can reach you? Is that a website or just the Facebook
they can go to
page?
Trimunity.com.
Okay, and spell that, please.
TRY Munity, MUNITY.com, and you can join. It's just amazing to see how these people interact with each other. So they're always looking for good words of wisdom, and you can share. There's a little prayer box in there if you want someone to say a prayer for someone. You can shout out to people. You can just friend them. Works
That's
just
the stuff right
like Facebook, which is nice. So if you're already comfortable with Facebook, you'll be comfortable with Trimunity.
And if you're not, reach out anyway. And Bernadette, before we go,
Yep.
Before we run out of time, I want you to give a plug for Rocks Digital this
Oh,
year.
yeah.
Give us the date and the event location and how they can find out more.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, what I like to do is, if you give me about 24 hours, I'll create a code called Offbeat, and we can give 10% off the tickets.
Woo!
To anyone who puts in Offbeat as a code word. It'll just take a day or so to get that up, but I'll get that started when I get back to the office. But
Very
please,
cool. By the
come
time
join
you
us.
get this, it'll be up.
Come join. Oh, that's right.
Yes, we
Mhm.
record early, so by
Yep.
the time you hear this, it's active.
So, yep, so type in Offbeat. Come join us. We will, again, all the proceeds go to Trimunity. And by the way, we do also hire handicapped at our offices. So if you know anyone who is handicapped, who can still write or do data entry, we like to help those people.
Oh,
So
they'll
please do.
continue to
Yeah.
improve if you give them that
Oh,
task to do.
absolutely.
You're a business making a difference, Bernadette.
So please
So
come to the
excited
show,
about
and you can
that.
meet my son. He'll be there working our booth. So it's Offbeat as the code, and you'll find that there's a lot to learn about digital presence management, local and mobile SEO, and you can find it all at Rocks Digital.
Wonderful, and I'll make sure we have a page on offbeatbusiness.com because after all, all the lineups, the replays, and all the information on our magazine as well as our magazine articles are found at offbeatbusiness.com. So we have the resources that you need to have a successful business today and get connected in our community the way we so desperately need you. Thank you so much.
No
This is
problem. I
Susan
enjoyed it.
Hamilton
Thank you.
with Bernadette Coleman with Rocks
you.
Digital, and you've been listening to the Offbeat Business Show.
Thank you. That was fun.
Cool beans. I'm getting buzzed.